What's going on, guys? It's Gendo here, and welcome to episode 26 of If I Had a Hammer. And today, of course, we'll be taking on the first opponent in the Europa League, but we need to draw against our opponent first, so that's what we're going to do at the start of this episode. Then we're going to go through all the transfers, both in and out, that have been made since the transfer window will have already passed, as well as go through the few matches that we have gone through since Watford until the Europa League. So, here's where we are in the draw. We are currently in a second seed, and there are quite a lot of teams that I do not want to play in the first group. So let's draw the first group and then see who we should not play against. So here we go. I probably don't want to play against anybody in the first three, maybe the first four, because I got Milan there. Anything past Group D would be for the best. I'd love Basel, I'd love Dnipro, I'd love either the Turkish teams. So let's see who we are going to draw against. And we got Milan. So first and foremost, we are going to be facing off against Milan, and I believe that is also going to be our first match in the Europa League. So that's who we're going to be live commenting against today, against Milan. Great. So let's see who we're going to be facing off against in Group D. Probably, I'd love Genk, I'd love Young Boys, I'd love Hajduk Split, and we get Rapid Vienna from Austria. And then finally, in the final pot, St. Gallen, Rijeka, Stuttgart. I'd like one of those. We get Stuttgart. Okay. This is definitely a group that I feel we can come out in second place. And I want to get all 6 points versus Rapid Vienna and Stuttgart. Milan is going to be a difficult go, both home and away. And that's who we're going to be facing off first. So, before we get into that match, let's go over all the extra stuff that has happened over this past month. And the first player we sold since Watford is Florin Tanase, the 23-year-old Romanian. Really never broke into the side. I did play him a couple of matches here and there, but it was clear he was not fitting into the system that I want to implement. So we sold him to Bologna in Serie A for a fee of £8 million. It's really sad to see him go, but like I said, when you're fighting for spots on the left side of the pitch alongside Dimitri Payet and Sebastian Driussi, you're really not going to get a starting chance. So it's better to sell him for a profit, and hope he does well over in Bologna. The next one on the chopping block was, in fact, his Romanian counterpart. Doran Rotariu has been sold to RB Leipzig for a fee of £3.8 million, a little less than what I brought him in for, so I am making a small loss. But at the same time, 23 years old, and he wasn't going to be getting the play time now that I signed Andrej Zivkovic to a long-term deal. I kept loaning him out. He was pretty much loaned out his entire spell here at West Ham and wasn't really going to break into the first team side. Now that Zivkovic has signed a long-term deal, as well as bringing in Benito Raman and Alessandro Plia, he just was not going to get that play time that he needs to develop. So it was better selling him off, and you know, RB Leipzig was one of the many teams to come in for him, but they offered the most money. So he's gone from the club. Sad to see him go, honestly. And the last of our big transfers away is Neven Subotic. The 29-year-old Serbian has gone to Aston Villa for a fee of £8.5 million. To be quite honest with you, a lot less than what his estimated value was. It was just about $12 million, but at the same time, no one was really going after him except for Aston Villa. I did make a little bit of profit on him though, so no worries on that end, but as you can see, all those arrows downward, he just was not trending very well. He was also slowing up a lot. As you can see, his pace is a 13. I think when I got him, it was either 14 or a 15, but acceleration brought down his speed immensely. I'll miss his defensive and his aerial attributes being 6'4". He can go up and get the ball during his crosses and the corners, but I really did not see him sticking around at the club for very much longer if he was going to trend downwards like this. So I'm glad I got some money for him, but Subotic no longer on the club. Our first signing since Watford isn't actually coming in to the club until after the season, but he is definitely going to be a proven playmaker. It's Yuri Tielemans, the 21-year-old Belgian from Anderlecht. He was at the club for a very short time during the first season, never really saw a lot of match time, but he is unhappy at Anderlecht, has requested a move, and we are buying him for £15 million. A little short, or a little less than Callum Chambers, but he is definitely a proven playmaker. He is also going to be paid £5.2 million per year. He will be the newest highest earner for the next 5 years. And to be quite honest with you, that's a little bit of a bargain since he asked for just about £8 million. So Yuri Tielemans is going to be coming in next year. I want to see how Dessart and Carol Linetti fared this season before making a decision on whether to keep them around, or any other of the center mids that I still have on the roster. But Yuri Tielemans is definitely going to be coming in for the next season. So with Subotic leaving, I needed to fill the center back role quickly because I had a distinct lack of center backs that can play that role. I mean, I have Hoban and I have Callum Chambers, and that's really it. So I needed to get some depth, and I found Lucas sitting in Spain. He's coming in from Atletico Madrid for a fee of £6.75 million. The 22-year-old Frenchman looks really, really decent on the defensive side. 15 marking, tackling, and positioning, and speed. He's so much faster than Subotic. 14 pace, 15 acceleration. And I totally expect him to fit in well with the squad. Only time will tell to see if that's true, but I needed someone, and Lucas looks to be the guy to fit the bill. One of my deadline day signings, Brendan Galloway, coming in from Everton for £5.75 million. The 22-year-old Englishman definitely can fill a role at center back, but he can also play left back. I need depth at left back since Cresswell is my only true left back. 15 marking, 15 tackling, 14 positioning. He's got good pair of legs on him. He may not play in that center back role since I do have a good number of center backs to choose from, but I needed the depth at left back position. Brendan Galloway, me being an Evertonian, I know all about his potential, and I really wanted to bring him in now that he's developed into a prime young player. So Brendan Galloway coming in, and I hope he can make a good impact. Okay, I have to admit, I did not find this guy. My head of youth development was scouting Belgium and found Vincent van den Drijke, an 18-year-old sitting in Club Brugge. And when he came back and said his current ability was a 3-star, I had to jump all over him. He is truly going to be a wonder kid in this game. I mean, it even says right there, media description, wonder kid. Like I said, 18 years old, we got him for £15 million. I feel that is a bargain for this kid that has such a high ceiling. And just take a look at his stats. 16 pace, 16 acceleration. He's got some great mental attributes. He also has some great technical abilities on him currently, but I do not have a spot for him. I have to admit, I am so stacked on the attacking side, I don't think I can use him for the next year or two. He is also primarily used in his center mid, or I can use him in that right attacking side, so I can have Andrej Zivkovic teach him how to be a right attacking mid, try to cut inside, be an inside forward and whatnot. This kid has such a high ceiling, I don't know what to do with him, but like I said, right now I cannot use him in my squad. He's definitely one for the future, so I may loan him out at the very end, but Vincent van den Drijke, one for the future. So now that the transfers in and out have taken place, let's see how the new signings have fared in the 3 matches leading up to Milan. Unfortunately, in the first one, past Watford, we lost by the score of 2-1 against Newcastle. Derek Janmaat and Imo Ezekiel getting the goals for the Magpies, whereas Jamie Vardy getting us our only goal in the 61st minute. I thought we would have had a lot more attacking chances, but giving Benito Rahman a chance, as well as Lucas in his first start, they did okay. They did rather average, but not the players that I expected them to be when I signed them. 10 shots, only 6 of them on targets, even possession throughout. It was definitely a tough loss to take, but it is early in the season, so I can't put too much weight on this. But at the same time, if you get points early, you're probably going to see yourself up near the top 6 at the end of the season. But against Manchester City, we were able to turn tables around and come from behind, winning by the score of 2-1. John Stones getting the Citizens off to a good start in the 26th minute, but Zivkovic proving he is worth every penny I paid for him, getting himself a brace with goals in the 42nd and the match winner in the 77th. We had 15 shots, 5 on target, 58% possession, but Manchester City with the 23 shots total proved that they had a little better in the attacking chance, in the attacking front, and we can count ourselves a little lucky. Interesting to note, Vincent van den Drijke, the young 18-year-old Belgian, getting the start on the day and got himself an 8.0 before being subbed out late in the match. So definitely have high hopes for him. Especially if he's playing like this against Manchester City. I may not loan him out. I may use him in the rotation option. Keep an eye on Van den Drijke. He may just be a young player of the year. And it seems early on we're only good against the big teams as we fell to Everton by the same scoreline for the last 3 matches, 2-1. But unfortunately, it was an own goal that did us in as Brandon Galloway tried to head the ball over the bar, but instead aimed a little lower and got it into the back of the net. Seydou Berahino, the only goal scorer for Everton proper, whereas Lucas answered 3 minutes later to knot the match up at 1 apiece before that untimely own goal late in the match. We had 54% possession, 13 shots, 6 on target, which is a rather average match for us. I would have liked to have come away with points on the day, but it was very unfortunate that the own goal happened. Once again, Van den Drische playing very well, getting himself a 7.8 and man of the match. Second match in, second start nonetheless, and he's already got himself a man of the match. This kid's going places. Even in a loss, this kid is showing that he has very high potential. And just like that, 2 lost opportunities for points, and we see ourselves down in 15th place after 4 matches. 4 points. Definitely not the place that I wanted to see us after 4 matches, but it is still early on. Plenty of season left, and I don't think Liverpool, Everton, Southampton, or Watford are going to be in the top 4 come season's end. It is interesting to see that those 4 teams are up there, but like I said, I don't see them keeping pace. I don't see them all staying up there at the very end. But enough of looking at the Premier League. We have ourselves a Europa League match to take on, and it's going to be against Milan. And this is the lineup we're going to put out there today. It's going to be the V formation against Milan's 4-4-1-1. And the starting lineup is as follows. We're going to have Butland in net, Chambers, Hoban, Lucas, and Cresswell along the back line with Julian Dessart as our defensive mid. Karol Linetti and Van den Drische will be the 2 center mids, with Payet and Zivkovic out on the wing, and Jamie Vardy sitting up front in his familiar defensive forward role. This is the first match and is against the biggest team in the group. I would love to get a draw against Milan, especially away from home at the San Siro. It probably won't happen, so let's kick off, see what happens, and cross fingers, hopefully the performance from our side isn't too terrible. Corner kick, Zivkovic in the 18th minute. The ball is falling through, and the young goalkeeper I was scouting, Donnarumma, able to make the save, and now Milan could possibly get us on a counter. Bernard taking it up the pitch. Jairo Riedewald, another center back that I was also looking for with the ball. Now Zivkovic through to Vardy. Vardy one-on-one with the keeper. He's got to take the shot. He's got to take the goal. Oh, he smacks the post. That should have been a goal. Free kick for Milan. Good takeaway by Van den Drische, but Payet heads it on to nobody in particular. Falls back to Milan to play it around the back, but at least we have the ball. Cut out their attack. Linetti finding Vardy. Vardy running through the center. Doesn't know who to pass it off to. He could take a shot, but it goes wide. Not as good as his other one, which hit the post, which should have gone in. By all accounts, we should be 1-0 up, but it is 0-0 at the half. We have had more of the ball. We have had more shots and more shots on target. I believe we were 5-5, whereas Milan were 4-3. It's very even in terms of how we've been playing. But, like I said, we should be up 1-0. Going by that, I don't want to confuse these guys. I don't want to put it in their heads that, they have to do more than possible. So just let them go back out there for the second 45, doing the same thing they were doing, and the result will come. All right, with nothing going on in this second half, I'm going to make some changes. With about 20 minutes to go, Lucas is looking the worst for wear out there. Brandon Galloway is going to come on for him. And then Callum Chambers is going to make way for Sam Byram. At least make the 2 subs at the back line just so he can have a little bit faster legs. And, I believe they're about equal in terms of defensive ability. So fresher legs on the defensive side hopefully will close them down for the last 20 minutes. About 17 minutes left to go, and Milan have themselves a throw-in. Good tackle from Van den Drische. Getting it up to Zivkovic, to Vardy, laying it off to Linetti, back to Zivkovic. If he lays it off, he does to Vardy, and Vardy gets the goal. It's 1-0 to West Ham away at the San Siro. What a great pass from Zivkovic to set up Vardy. And it was just a great string of passes from the right side all the way to the left. Zivkovic finding Jamie Vardy, who heads it in. That was a great bullet header into the top left corner. And now with 14 minutes left to go, I'm going to make one final sub. I don't know if it should be Dessart, who's complacent, or Karol Linetti, who is worse for wear. I mean, I have Mark Noble and I have Fellaini, who both can easily take both their spots. Choices, really, really difficult choices. Desart's going to make way for Noble. I need a little better defensive effort. So there we go. Last 14 minutes. Hold them down. As time is ticking away, there's only 30 seconds left to go in this match. Just go, almost go route one. Just throw the ball up long, just so it's out of our half. Has some decent passing late in this game. Payet, it does fall to Linetti, but it does fall now to Milan. There's 10 seconds left, and they are looking very frantic. I don't know if they're going to make something happen. Bernard cutting inside. Good block away. And the ref blows his whistle. We get the victory away at San Siro. Did not think that was going to happen, honestly. I would have been content with a 0-0 draw, but we start off with a win in the Europa League. 1-0 to West Ham. Get in, boys. Everyone did a great job. I'm very happy. Nobody gave us any sort of chance, believe me. And looks like Stuttgart have defeated Rapid Vienna by 4-1. Oof. That's a difficult go. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think that they would defeat them by that much, but it is what it is. Now let's take a look at the schedule and see when we'll be coming back next. So it looks like the schedule is going to be a little congested for the next month and a half. As you can see, we are drawn against Hull in the Capital One Cup, as well as, of course, the Europa League match against Stuttgart. Only 2 matches in the league as well, but I think the big match that we should be coming back against and testing our might against is Arsenal down here. It may not be a month away, but just because of all the match fixtures in that time, it definitely warrants a run out, to be quite honest with you, especially since they're also in London. Of course, London derbies, I don't really win them unless they're against Crystal Palace, so I feel that we should try and test our might and test our luck against Arsenal. So that will be the next episode. We'll come back against Arsenal at the Emirates. That's going to be tricky. But until that time, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new and you want to see more FM content on the channel. Any comments, suggestions, questions, anything else, please leave in the comment box below. But as always, this is Gendo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out.